Hello everyone. Today is the 8th of November and we can start our Check community meeting. We have some topics today. The first one is from Ilya about enabling Train Web ID GitHub action. Ilya, could you present your topic?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Valerie. So, folks, as you might know already, we have the Train Web ID GitHub action published on GitHub Marketplace. Already we have a couple of blogs, one for developer Red Hat blog, the other one is for Eclipse Chat blog, so you can find the links at the bottom of the issue description. The next proposal is going to be enabling this Train Web ID GitHub action to every single Eclipse share related repository. So basically, the idea is to be more proactive on that task and have a fixed deadline, let's say for the next community call. So in a week, we should enable the Train Web ID GitHub action to every single Eclipse share related repository. And, I'm not sure how exactly we can plan this work because, each team probably can just go through the repository list and identify their ownership and add the GitHub action. So we already have some GitHub actions for some repositories, like I think Valerie is opening the plugin registry, which already have it. It's Train Web ID is the third from the bottom. Yes, this one. So it's a pretty simple one. It has some configuration. I know there was a comment already on the community meeting minutes that it comments basically on every single PR update. If you don't like it, you can configure add comment false, so you will only have the status check. In my opinion, matter of taste. I personally like when the pull request is updated and you are notified that you need to check the code. And it would be great to hear also some success stories and maybe fail stories next sprint. For example, like for this repository, we can leverage the action in our hosted environment very well, and for that one, not so much because this, that, and this. So it will allow us to better understand what we are missing and have more consistent setup for the repository. So yeah, this is the first topic. So folks, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, ask.
Thank you, Ilya.
Okay.
It seems no questions.
So yeah, we can probably move on on that topic. So let's just put an action item. So I don't know, have the action enabled to every single repository and do the checkup next week. And maybe if someone would love to comment on that, like Fabrice already commented that he likes it in the docs, or maybe someone dislikes it and we need to improve some stuff, it would be great to hear the feedback. So for next week, we can put sort of deadline for this one, just to enable it on every single report.
Cool. So we can proceed to the next topic, I think. Also from you, as I understand.
Yeah, so it's just a quick announcement. Majority of us probably know that we are going to merge the two teams starting from the next sprint. So hosted chat team will formally cease to exist and will be one big controller team. But we still have, of course, the hosted share label. And as you know, we are doing the upstream issue triage, and it's like rotation process for the teams. So I wanted to ask someone to delete the hosted chat team from the upstream issue triage, and potentially we need to discuss like who is going to be the triage for the hosted chat missing days. Yeah, probably Marta would be the right contact person for that, but I think we don't have Marta on the call.
But Ilya, when you say deleting, so updating the, what do you mean? Updating the wiki, or where do you mean?
No,
to
like
update the...
calendar mostly. I meant
Okay.
calendar. I mean now, so maybe yeah, it's true that we do need to update wiki. It's in my to-do list. So on Wednesday this week, I'm going to remove the team hosted shell label, and we'll try to remove it from wikis, from other parts of the documentation where I will be able to find it. But the most important thing that we need to come up with the better triage idea, because we will do as a controller team triaging on Fridays, and on Monday this is on Monday place is backend at this point. So today is the very last day that we are doing the triage as part of the hosted team.
Okay. Okay, I think that we can discuss that, maybe with managers, or so I don't know if there is somebody, so maybe since we have a PM, we now have a PM, we may see if PM can join us to do that. Maybe that's a way to get more familiar.
That's a great idea, I think. Yeah, I all in favor of this proposal.
Okay, any other comments? So we can go to the next topic. It's from me, and as we already discussed some time ago, we should have a rotating system to choose a moderator of the community call, on this call. So the idea is that the moderator will be changed monthly, and it will be similar what we do with the process of issue triaging. So I propose that a team leader or a team will be assigned to moderate the Czech community call for 1 month. And then this responsibility will be moved to another team. For now, we don't have an automated process to select a moderator and remind people to moderate the call. So for the beginning, I'm going to add the link to this spreadsheet into the call description, and people can find the information who should be responsible for some months. Of course, I'm going to send an email with instructions and the procedure to people from this list to describe how it should be done. So maybe some questions or comments about that.
I think that's a great idea.
I just wondering, maybe I'm not 100% sure, but maybe it's also something that PM can handle. I mean, I'm not against the the monthly triage, but just just my thinking was that maybe the community goal to leverage more the community adaptation. It will be more interesting for PM to handle the moderation part rather than do it in a rotation mode, because we already have rotation for triage.
I think you can add into that list someone who want to moderate or who are a volunteer to do that. It's not a problem.
Yeah, but I meant like, not to do the rotation.
Maybe it makes sense to ask PM for that. Mario, what do you think about that?
Yeah, we can ask that. I think that maybe the moderator should be someone that has already attended a few calls. So maybe that may take some time. Whereas like the triaging of the issues is something that, so if you don't know, you can ask how you need to triage an issue. Doesn't need to, so you're not actually a moderator of anything. It's more, so yeah, that's my point of view. But yeah, we can ask her if that's okay. To be added here, but it won't change much for us. I mean, to be 10 or 11. The only thing that honestly I think we may do is that we could add other people, not only the team lead.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
other engineers. Yeah,
team lead can delegate this responsibility to someone else. So
yeah,
as we do that for issue triaging. Okay, in that way, I will send an email with some instructions, and yeah, if there are some comments, please feel free to ask me some question or write an email. Cool. So if no questions, we can go to another topic. It's from Fabrice about Docker label.
Yes. So since I don't know, something like June or so, since a few months, we received, so the way DocSteam capture things to do is to look at GitHub to the area doc label. So basically, we look at issue, they enter in our radar when there is this label. And since something like June, maybe a little bit more, we have almost no issue there, and maybe half of the issue are created by ourselves. So, as a consequence, some things that have done doc impact enter in our radar only at pull request time. So when someone from engineering is doing a pull request, that's a little bit uncomfortable for us because we cannot plan anything. So even if sometimes we lag so much behind, it doesn't help. So question is, can we maybe think about adding this label even on issues where the issue is not completely docs, but that needs a little bit of doc?
Do you mean to add them into PRs as well?
And I mean that in the issue when so at triage time or even later if it happens later, but when someone can notice that there is an impact on docs on an issue, that you add this label, because that's the way we know that there is something that needs docs team attention, and that was quite efficient before. The thing that was not efficient is that we have the issue in our backlog and we don't manage to handle everything. That's another problem. But now we don't even know what is. So we don't even have a backlog. We don't have a pile of tasks because we don't have issues that are here. So it's just please when you are doing some triage, if you see it's about docs, add this label. It's there and it's there. It's useful. It's very useful for us.
Okay. Any
So
comments?
Fabrice, a question. So I saw some question-like issues in GitHub, yeah? Could it be treated as docs? Maybe someone can't find the answer how to do something. Could it be treated as needness for docs? And then what do you think?
Maybe, yeah. But then you could add this area doc label on it, and we can have a look on them.
Mm-hmm. So I would suggest to review all question issues to see if it's something which should be described thoroughly, maybe, and add area. Just filter on that kind of issues. Yeah. And then you will receive that issues in your backlog. Yeah, am I right? So what you will do with that?
Then the thing is we have to rethink some of the things, I believe, but for now we have to create we create an issue in Jira, and that's what we are supposed to do, but it doesn't mean that we can handle everything in our sprints. So we are under capacity, let's say. So we lag a lot behind, and so we have a backlog full. So we have tasks that are full of tasks from the downstream epic. It means that when the task enter our radar, that's when it's in the downstream epic, and given our lead time to produce the docs, it's too late. So that's our problem. We are always too late because we see the things happening too late. Because when we test so now we have more process, so we have more time to test the procedures and then more time to review the procedures. So it means it's longer than before, and we need to start more upfront. So we need to start when the feature is coming in upstream to have something in time.
So you're asking not just for label, but to create issue in time, yeah, for documentation. Mm-hmm. It looks like so. Do we have something like documentation requires label? Maybe it would be more helpful.
But we have the area doc label.
Mm-hmm.
That's this one.
So can some task have more than several area? Let's say some new feature which should be documented, and we just add an area label, or it should be separate issue just for documentation, link it to new feature issue.
So it doesn't need to be a separate issue, as anyway we create a duplicate in Jira. So we will create a duplicate in our docs Jira. So if it's an engineering issue, that's perfect for us because we don't need to synchronize the two tasks. So that's easier for us. But I believe we are quite agnostic on the fact of one issue, two issues. The most important is to receive the information. And to receive the information is to have one issue with to add the label on an issue.
Because it's a little bit confusing. You ask for triaging, but then move to the new features and kind of end-to-late documentation issue. So
that's this split brain situation. It's not very comfortable, but we have to. So that's not something I decide. That everything should be done in Jira. I would be much more comfortable to handle all the upstream issue directly in GitHub. And that's not what we do, and I'm helpless here. So
Casey. So there is some automation, and you are running some script once a day, yeah, and duplicate issues, right?
Yeah, probably we can leverage the Gira script to do that. Currently, we do it manually because we have one issue every 2 weeks, so that's not a lot. And so the cool thing is that we don't have a lot of work to create the issue. The not nice thing is that we are losing track of what needs to be done. So, any other question?
So Fabrice, I usually set the label area doc when it's a doc. And I think that a lot of people, so a lot of us doing triage are still doing it. So I'm kind of like, do you think do you have in mind someone in particular or some team or?
I don't know. It's just look at the list of area doc issues, and we have 2 per month, and we have more to do than that. And receive docs. So, for example, one of the last one was about the backups. So we received so that was one of the last one. Just one pull request that came today. It's about removing a Helm. And we have a Jira issue for it.
Yeah. So pull request is something. Pull request is something. Issue is something else.
So yeah, we receive pull requests that are solving an issue and this issue has no area doc label on it.
Yeah. Okay. But
so
usually, yes. Usually, if that's a feature, so like if we're modifying something because we're fixing something on the operator side, for example, that's a fix on the operator side that as a side effect then an update on documentation. Do you think that we should use AriaDoc on the issue on that case as well?
Yes, exactly.
But
exactly that.
But there should be no work on your side for that.
So I give you the example. I will try to find. So I believe the one that made me think about it, that was about the backups. And the last interesting one, that's remove Helm installer from doc. That's the really last pull request that we received today. So it's just in time for the community call. So they're and so we have that issue in Jira. We don't have any counterparts in GitHub, an issue for that. And now we receive the pull request. So
I think, yeah, just to understand, so it's in Chedocs, right?
Yes.
A pull request in Chedocs, not in Eclipse Che. Yes, because so Valerie, you need to go on the Chedocs repo and see pull request.
And
Yeah, like the first pull request, the first one,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, exactly. And it's linked to an issue. And it's clearly stated in the issue update doc, but we don't have any area doc.
But that's mainly because that's the installer team that will take care of it. So they are not. So that makes sense for that reason. So yeah, I'm just trying to understand because I think that's like if we do that 99% of the time you will end up with an area doc on the issue.
Yes, but
So
that
how's that useful for you?
that's also useful for us because we can oh, that's my little girl who is coming from school.
Hello.
Bonjour, Ella. That's so useful for us because we can and if that's even. Oui, je suis tout rouge. Tu me donnes 5 minutes, mon enfant? So, I'm sorry, it will be difficult. So because we know some, so we know the things before just the pull request, and we don't. I don't know. It's just capacity to plan, capacity to understand where the pull requests come from, and for example, for the Helm installer question, we captured it on Jira also during one of the session. It was one of the topic, and so we are planning now to put it in the next sprint, but it's already done. So it's a very good news, but it's quite uncoordinated, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, but I just wondered how can you plan pull request review?
That's a very interesting question because now it's one of our internal problem in the docs team is to manage all the pull request review.
Yeah, because I mean it's just when pull requests is coming, it need to be reviewed. Pretty difficult to plan if there is area doc or not. I mean, you never know when it's going to be in place, right? It's anyway will be something that docs team need to review and merge.
Yes, but it will help us not starting to work on something in the same time some engineer is working on the same topic and to have conflicting pull requests. So that happened for the backup, for example, where we had one pull request coming with a few changes, and in exactly the same time we had one writer working on the same topic and who didn't notice the pull request. So I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, but it's really weird situation because I mean if a writer works on a thing like backup and restore, which is very intricate topic, I would expect that he would sync with the developer and then they would decide like how to proceed with the docs, right?
Yeah, this time it didn't happen, so it was quite a mess. So now it's okay. It's okay. But it was at some point it was like, hey, can you talk to each other sometime? It's so that was not that was not easy.
Yeah, I just saying that it doesn't look like area doc can fix the communication problem.
But then how can we How can we have a better communication then?
Yeah, just, I mean, if someone from Docs team is working on the, documentation or some feature checkup with the initial developer, like, hey, man, how it's going to be documented? Do you want, like, document it yourself and review it, like, reviewed by the Docs team, or you expect the Docs team will write the actual docs, something like that?
I don't know. I have no expectation on that, but so we will know what is happening. So what is happening next? We can know about it, because now what we are doing is more reverse engineering the downstream epic.
Yeah, but, I mean, Fabrice, how you would know that pull request is going to be in place for review by the area doc label in the issue? It's just, I just cannot grok it. So I understand that you want to set up the process, and yeah, I mean, everyone would love to help you, but we just, at least me, I just don't understand how you want to implement this. So that's the thing. We would like to help, but it just doesn't look like we can improve based on just adding the label all over the shop, because every single feature will need to be documented.
You believe every single feature would need some area docs stuff?
Of course, because everything, it's what you propose, because everything needs to be documented as part of the pull request. For example, we are adding monitoring for their workspaces, and we are going to shoot a pull request this week, and it needs to be reviewed, and it's part of the epic, part of the story. Like, as an admin, I want to have monitoring in place. So, and we do expect that docs will do the language review, second, the run through the procedure, and make sure that it works.
So here we are more here to so then our role is more to take the draft and take it from the draft and just wait the pull request to happen and make the magic happen afterwards. That's it?
No. The goal of everybody who is assigned to review is do the language review and do the procedure review, and then approve or not approve based on this. So that's how I understand it. There is no separation for pull request review depending on the role. It's like the rules are the same for everyone. So it's like language review and the procedure review that actually it works, and verification, right? So.
I would not have thought that just asking for area doc label will be leading to such complicated files, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like, it doesn't look like it's going to solve anything, right? We can have the area doc, but you will still have the pull requests coming, and those need to be reviewed.
Could the status doc impact help with that issue?
The doc impact, we don't use this one. So that's basically, we use this area doc label. We look at that, and we add team doc when we know that we have to take ownership of the issue. But the problem is that it's less and less. So we had more issue in the past, and now it's getting an empty queue. If you look down the queue of issues, we had more. It's just that this information is getting absent, and it's giving us more work just I'm not sure it would be 99% of the pull requests that need some docs change, but now if it's missed by engineers, we don't really know what is happening. So we are a little, for me, we are losing a little bit of control of what's in the pipe and what is happening, or we would have to follow every issue, every pull request everywhere. So it's more uncertainty. Yeah, status doc impact, but that's quite the same. So area doc or status doc impact, that's quite similar. That's a label to ping the docs team that there is something happening.
Yeah, Fabrice, and what about like if you look at the sprint planning every week, so you know that what every team is working on. So is that something that you're trying to do, like to figure out what's actually teams are going to work on? Maybe that and you can like figure out what will be the impact on documentation.
Yeah, but
would that help somehow?
Yeah, but that means just more reverse engineering. So it's more reading that to take that. That's the thing. That's the how to make it more efficient. Michal will not be replaced in our team, so we will be.
It's just that I think that from the issue, understanding exactly when. So if it's in 1 week or in 3 months that you will actually need to review 10 lines or 100, I think that you won't be able to figure that out. So who is setting the area labels won't be able to figure out that. Whereas when you see that a team is working next sprint, so the sprint that will start in a few days, they will, or it's already started, they are working on something that is changing an important feature of the product. It's like you will probably think about, okay, so if they are changing that in the few weeks that are coming, there will probably be changes on doc, and so I'm just trying to understand how we can help you.
Okay, so we will not have a solution for today, certainly. So I continue to. So I will look at this sprint planning.
Yeah.
Not on that. And so that's an option.
I think that in general, so there is this thing that we have done with the QE that we've been, because QE has the same problem, right? Like they will need to start writing automated tests for features that will land somehow. So it's kind of similar, right, of the problem that you have.
Yes. So that's the same thing. Running after the rabbit.
Yeah.
It's that's exactly that. That's and the rabbit is going faster every sprint, and we are lagging behind.
Yeah. But the thing that is that what is successful, I think, is like there are some member of the QE team that are working with the teams, so they are attending the stand up, so that they are kind of part of the team, so that they can be updated real time, and they know and they can update also on the work they are doing, the team. So that is, I think, it's really effective. So maybe if you can, I think that you have like a lot of impact are in our like the team that is working on installation, so the deploy team provide a lot of documentation. So maybe you can start thinking like having someone from your team attending the stand-up.
Yeah, how much time in the day is the stand-up, or in the week? So we can do that, but then we will have. Do we have time to walk after that? Is the question. One more.
So it's a few. I think it's a few minutes per day. It's not. So that's at least it's the goal of the stand-up. But what is missing is you're missing documentation. So somehow you're missing communication. So there is a communication that is not happening. To get more communication, you somehow have to. So it's not just adding a label AreaDoc. I don't think you will get enough communication that you are looking for.
Okay, so look at the stand-ups. Try to okay. See that. Yeah, maybe we can manage that. That's how many teams do we have now?
I think it's around 8, no?
No. See, yeah, but to be clear, it's not about attending all the stand-up of all the team.
If we have two writers, and 8 team, it means each writer has to go to 4 stand-ups in a day.
No.
So that's a lot.
Yeah. So if you want to do that, yeah, you can, but I would not suggest that. So no, the QE team, what they don't have a QE engineer on every team. They have on just starting with one. So having just one person participating to the stand-up, the work of one team, like the team that is, I don't know, if you go, for example, controller team today is working on a lot of stuff that probably will need to be put into the documentation. I think that having somebody working with them, so like being part of their team, is kind of will change completely. You will get a lot of information beforehand.
Yes, but we are two. We are 2 people.
Yes, just so one of you two need to attend those stand-ups.
No, that's 4 stand-ups per person.
Papa, tu sais que je t'aime, papa.
That's 4 stand-up per person. That takes 1 hour in a day.
No. So let me repeat that, Fabrice. So you have just to attend the stand-up of controller team, not the stand-up of all the teams. Just one.
So just the controller team is enough for all documentation?
I mean, choose one. Start with something instead of. I think I would suggest controller team because it's the team today that where maybe a lot of changes are happening.
And just a comment about the controller team. So starting from the next sprint, we are going to post, starting from Wednesday, actually, this Wednesday, we're going to post the stand-ups because it's like also 8 people, I think, in the controller team, 6 devs, 2 QEs. So we are having very time-boxed stand-ups. So we are doing the actual stand-ups with comments in the chat mode. We're going to do this. So you can just asynchronously follow up on the stand-ups. And if you have questions, like ask the questions in the thread of the stand-ups. So you even don't need to attend the call. You can just follow up on the daily stand-ups asynchronously whenever you have some time. Do that and ask questions if you have any.
Other teams.
Okay, of course, if you want to attend, you are most than welcome. If you have some overlapping calls or just cannot make it, you can always follow up on the Slack.
Okay, let's see how I can manage that.
Editors and plugins team also doing their stand-ups in chat, so you can take a look.
Okay, the stand-up in chat, that's perfect. That's the easiest way to do the thing.
And deploy team does the same, or maybe most of the time. So you just need to find proper channel. Okay, that's all.
Okay. I should try to do that. I cannot promise much, but I will try. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Fabrice. So another comments. It was our last topic in the agenda. So maybe anyone wants to discuss another topic or have something to ask. So it seems everything was covered, and we can finish our call. Thank you, everyone, and wish you to have a good week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.